For a long time, my mom lived over an hour away. If you're a daughter or a son living here in North Atlanta, you know exactly what that drive feels like. It's that hour-long commute that turns every doctor visit into a half-day commitment. It's the feeling of your heart dropping every time the phone rings at 10 p.m., wondering if it's an emergency or just a tech support question. It was exhausting for me, and honestly, it was isolating for her. I'm Amy Paris Cook, a realtor and a member of the sandwich generation. I'm sharing why moving my mom into independent living right here nearby was the best thing we ever did. Not just for her safety, but for our relationship. And because I'm a realtor and a VA fiduciary who helps families navigate this exact transition, I'm going to show you the logistical and financial framework we use to make it happen, so you can do the same for your family. The biggest hurdle to this move wasn't just the logistics, it was the guilt. It's feeling like we're putting them somewhere, right? But when my mom lived an hour away, I wasn't her daughter. I was her property manager. I was worrying about her gutters, her HVAC, her lawn care, and honestly, her safety. Our relationship had become a checklist of chores. When we brought her closer and she went to independent living, that dynamic really changed. People ask me, do you go hang out with your mom, playing her card games? Do you go to her social events at independent living? And the answer is a firm no. That is exactly why this works. She has her life, her social circle, and her own dignity. I don't sit in on her puzzles, and she doesn't want me to. We've gone back to being mother and daughter. When we see each other now, we're not just talking about home repairs. We're talking about her grandkids and her latest Temu find. Bringing her closer gave us the gift of being family again. One of the biggest myths I hear is that you have to be a social butterfly to survive in independent living. Well, my mom is a perfect example that this isn't necessarily true. She's an introvert, and it's actually a perfect fit for her because you don't have to do all the activities. You can pick and choose. She's found her niche as a community ambassador. She helps new residents get acclimated, which gives her a sense of purpose without the pressure of being on all the time. Her rhythm is that it's just her own. She has chosen to do puzzles, card games a few times a week, and she does the on-site Sunday church service. And if she wants to spend the afternoon in the apartment with her cat, she does that. But the option for connection is always there, right outside her door. It's like a social life on her own terms. And she's no longer alone all the time, and I don't have to worry about that, about her being lonely and isolated. So let's talk about the physical move. Sometimes people fear that right-sizing means like erasing their whole history because of all that stuff. But I prefer to call it a curation. It forces you to bring only what brings you joy and that you really want to keep. It's that 3,000 square feet of stuff that really holds you back sometimes. My mom didn't lose her identity in her move. She still has 3 closets full of clothes and shoes from her latest Temu and Amazon finds. The apartment is hers. The kitchen is different. It's just a counter and a fridge. She's got a microwave, no stove. But that is a massive safety feature that gives me peace of mind. And while she mostly enjoys the meals that they provide there, we've learned that her having food allergies means that she has to be a proactive advocate for herself in the dining hall. And sometimes she even just has to go eat a meal in her room, occasionally, if they're serving something like Chinese food because she's allergic to soy. But I never have to worry about her leaving a burner on again. So another thing that is sometimes a problem with older people is she doesn't drive anymore. And the community provides transportation via a bus that can take her doctor appointments, grocery runs, and even fun outings. But I go with her to most of her doctor's appointments, actually all of them at this point, because I want to see what's going on. She's almost 89 years old, and you don't want to wait until it's too late. But if that's not the case, if I'm not able to go with her, she can always take the bus to a doctor's appointment. Between the community bus, her younger friends that can take her to Walmart or Kroger, and me getting groceries delivered via Amazon or Kroger, She's got all her Amazon that she buys or her Temu. She has plenty of mobility, more than when she was stuck in a house waiting an hour for me to come get her to take her to the doctor. She has a safety net of transportation that preserves her independence rather than taking it away. And you may be in the same situation. As her VA fiduciary, I manage her funds and pay her bills, so I see the numbers. If you're a veteran family, there are benefits like aid and attendance that can be a lifesaver. But here is my professional advice. Do not try to navigate this as your own DIY project. It is a bureaucratic black hole. We hired a local attorney and paid a one-time fee for them to handle the application, the monthly benefit changes, and the communication with the VA. It was the best money we ever spent. It allowed me to stay in my lane as a daughter and do my job as a realtor while an expert handles the government bureaucracy, and they ensure that she gets exactly what she's entitled to. If you have a veteran in your family, get professional help from an attorney early. Now, this is where my professional role as a realtor becomes a game changer for my clients. I don't just list your house. I act as the strategic resource hub for managing the entire transaction. Moving a parent involves sometimes 40 years worth of stuff, and that is where families can get really paralyzed. I don't expect you to coordinate all of this yourself, and I don't do the heavy lifting either, but I have a vetted network of professionals who do. I can connect you with estate sale professionals, donation coordinators, and specialized cleanout crews who treat your parents' belongings with respect. I have vetted them to make sure they are good working with seniors. We want the move to happen before there's a health crisis. When you move on your own terms, you get to choose the community. When you wait for a crisis, that's not the case. My goal is to get your home sold for top dollar so you can fund this new chapter, while I handle the logistical circus through my network so you can focus on your family. I provide the plan and the people, and you provide the support for your parent if you happen to be in the sandwich generation like me. If you're tired of the hour-long drive, the constant worry, and the feeling that you're managing a property instead of loving your parent, let's talk. I've walked this path as a daughter and as a professional, so whether you're in Sugar Hill, Cumming, or anywhere in North Georgia, I can help you navigate the home sale and the transition to a simpler, safer life. Let's make your next move your best move. Click the link below to grab my Simplify Your Move guide or book a coffee chat with me to start your plan. The link's right there.